so let's see what happens now.
Okay.
It didn't automatically go live, so let's see.
Okay.
Well, here we are. We're in. Okay. Hello. Little late to go here, but anyone who's watching, we are here. Yeah. Oh, now I have to turn my volume down. Sorry, because we're all on YouTube. So there we go. Okay, so we're good now. Okay. So Comictopia is over. Huge success. Most, if not all, of these campaigns were funded. 24 out of 27 campaigns on Comictopia, which is awesome. I'm here with Mark, who's my co-writer for Black Box, which is it is a horrible future book, and it is published by Magnetic Press, and it is right there, and it is in one of these bundles called the Sci-Fi Bundle. I believe it's called this. I made the graphics, so I should know what the bundle is.
There's a lot of bundles.
But thank you to everyone who backed. We are in the High Tech Tomorrow bundle. So that also includes Ghost Money, which is also a really, really good book. So, and they both actually aesthetically match. They're both these beautiful white hardcover matte books. So yeah, but there's a ton of stuff here. So if you want to ask me any questions, I'm the main production guy at Magnetic Press. I build all these books. I'm also a producer, and I run Horrible Future with Mark, which is another company we're partnered with. And San Diego Comic-Con just ended, so my boss is not here. He won an Eisner, which is having a lot of reverberating effects. You know, Magnetic Press won first Eisner. It's our 10-year anniversary, so it was like it was a big, satisfying deal. And like none of us were gonna go. I didn't go. You know, of course, the time we win, right?
If you went,
like, why are you gonna go? We're not gonna win, right? That's
and it was for Frankenstein and Dracula, correct?
For Frankenstein and Dracula, which is down there on my shelf, and I'll pull out and show you. But Dracula and Frankenstein is really interesting because we also just wrapped another campaign for Hunchback of Notre Dame. I should know. I work in literature. But Kempo actually helped me out on that book, doing some work, picking up some work on that and helping me get it done because there were a lot of books flying around that month. And you're a huge horror fan, so yes. So you're thrilled that that's the book that won.
Yes, I am very thrilled.
You love the slipcase.
But in a way, I knew when I saw.
You knew?
I saw it, and I was like, "This is nice."
Yeah, I think it was. I remember I asked Kempo. I said, I was talking with Mike Kennedy, our publisher, and I said, Mike is talking about making the slipcase black or making it white with red. What do you think? And I showed the mock-up that we had created of the white and the red, this like wine-colored blood red on white. And you were all about it. You were like, that's the way, that's the one. So
red.
Yeah.
Everything.
So I ran back and told Mike, I said, the white one with the red, like I was all for that. Doing it. I was like, yes, just like that. That's great, Mike. So I think he was going to do it anyway, but I like to think you influenced a little bit.
I like to think that too.
Your horror expertise.
Because you would think horror would be black and red. It's kind of
well, Kempo will tell you. I mean, the whole other cultures, white is death. You know, white is death. So yeah, so I think that was, you know, we publish books that are international, right? These are international books. So having white, you know, maybe a lot of our people overseas really recognize that as death more than our American audience do. There's more of the world than the United States, believe it or not. There's more of them than us. So, you know, not that there's thems, but you know what I mean? Like internationally, there's more readers of literature. Sure. And these books are literature. You know, they are, Mike and I, that we adapted from the actual, you know, we used George Best's book, you know, his version of it, but all the text and stuff is from the original, you know, translated from the original. So it's really meticulously done. So I'm really happy that book won, you know. Yeah. So any questions? I see some things over here. 13 years ago. Oh man, someone's talking about. Let's see what we got here. This has no. This doesn't have 1,400 comments. Crazy. That's wrong. So if anyone has any questions or comments, please ask.
12 people watching.
Sorry, we're also getting feedback because I'm looking at the stuff here. Anything you want to say, Mark, about San Diego? I know you didn't go, but you went to New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm going to talk about
Can you compare them? Because I didn't go to San Diego, so the last one we can talk about is the one that you went to, which is New York.
No, I mean, it's really cool for me to, especially on an anthology project where we had like 15 artists involved. And it's kind of a great place to just go and see them. A lot of them are from, as you were saying, like overseas. And being able to see a lot of our artists from Italy, you know, from all over the world. That's always a lot of fun in one place. You know, you can just go to the Javits Center and you get to say hi. Got to saw Eric Donovan, right by you, in Portland. It's always fun to just kind of like see the people that you've been working with for so long in person. So that's the most fun for me, going into Artist Alley.
Like actually seeing them.
Yeah, just meeting them, talking to them. You know, I mean, a lot of the work that we do is on Zoom like this, and you know, there's just something different about seeing people in person.
Yes.
Okay, so I turned the chat on over here. I made a mistake, everybody. I'm sorry who's on right now, 13 people. I'm sorry to all 13 people. I had it labeled for kids because we're not going to say anything that's weird. So I just had it set for kids, but apparently on YouTube, if you have it set for kids, you cannot comment, which makes sense. So
we already talked about the horror, so we're good.
Okay, yeah, we did. We covered it already.
We covered blood.
Do you want to grab them? They're right there. If you want to.
Oh, yeah. Is that them on the floor?
They're right on the floor. That's one of our spaceships on the floor. That's the dummy package.
Oh, yes, we do have.
That's this week. But Kempo's gonna grab
some
it.
cool stuff going out. Yes.
Yeah, we are sent. This is heavy. Sorry, guys, but this is it. This is the winner right here.
Right with the cutout there.
Yeah. Was the head too heavy? This chair is a little weak. But yeah, with the cutout and everything, this is it. So I have a question for Kempo, since we have a horror master here, and a question for anyone who's watching. What is the better story? Is it Dracula or Frankenstein?
Well, it depends on
Hi,
what
Ryan.
you're looking for.
What's up, Ryan?
No, objectively, which one's better in your personal opinion? Like just your, not objectively, then subjectively, what's in your opinion the better book and why?
Well, they're like good, equally good in different ways, though. Mm-hmm. It matters on your mood or what you're looking for. Like, because of Dracula, I feel like that's like a nice, like, read through someone's diary and everything.
It does feel that way.
And then Frankenstein's more like
Frankenstein. I'm gonna weigh in here. Yeah. Frankenstein's a better book. Sorry, Bram Stoker. It's better because it's about having an existential crisis, like in real time, like on the pages in front of you. Frankenstein is he's going through a lot, and I had never actually looked at the original. Oh, my cat's doing something. I never actually looked through the original text of Frankenstein, but when I did, it was it caused me to have existential dread. So it did its job. It made me really reflect on meaning and purpose in a way that, you know, if you don't slow down, you don't do it. You know, everyone does it, but Frankenstein does it real hard. So thanks for the Eisner. Congrats, Ryan. Yes, we are trying to put out more and more fantastic books. It's very hard, but we are doing it, and we appreciate your support.
But I like the unfolding of Dracula.
You like the pacing of Dracula.
And there's a lot of body horror, and it's like just slowly seeing like Renfield, like just.
You like Renfield, the character?
Yeah,
less his mind.
Yeah, he's losing his mind, and it's just a slow. So it just matters on what you're looking for, what you're in the mood for.
Yeah.
Because I think they both equally have like what's the word there?
They're relatable.
Yeah,
they're very they're I mean, horror works when it's relatable.
There's all of the connections in some way.
Christian would agree with us on this. We would have a whole discussion with Christian on this, I'm sure.
It's almost like the two go together in a slipcase perfectly.
It's almost as if they do, yeah. Especially when the same artist draws both and writes both. But yeah, it's just,
there's a reason they have lasted. Like there's a reason like these are like two horror.
They're archetypes of a whole genre, you know.
Think about the spin-offs. Like,
oh my god, yeah, the Hammer movies alone.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking of the Blue Devil fighting him. The Lucha movie.
Well, I saw the most recent Dracula movie was Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I watched, where it's speaking about Christian, it's Alien on a boat with Dracula, and
yes, I did see the trailer.
It is literally the Alien script. What other movie did we see that was like, this is the script of another movie, but it's done so well I don't care? It wasn't that one.
No.
Nope. So Nope is Jaws to a T.
Well, Nope is like Jaws overlaid with Close Encounters.
Sure, but I
took both of them and
right. So we had talked about Nope during working on Black Box on our first entry.
I love Nope, and I love Jordan Peele.
That's why part of the reason we have that story Sundowning and Black Box is because of Nope. We talked about the lighting in the desert and like the African American skin.
Oh, actually, yes. There's this one shot. Mm-hmm. Nope was not released on video yet.
No, we were like.
I actually went to go see it in a theater again, and I think this is okay, but just because I love the shot and the color so much, I like quickly just I took one picture of like one frame.
Yeah,
because I just loved the palette.
Yeah, and we sent that to Fabio. We sent it to him. We were like, "This is what we want." It's beautiful, you know.
It took me so long to get you to watch.
I know, and we went through this whole discussion. We wrote that story, and he had colored it and did everything. And I only just watched Nope maybe a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So, like, way after our book came out, I don't know why I do that. Usually, you know, I saw it. I didn't see it as a movie. I saw it as a series of stills that you were sending me, right? And I was like, this is, as a former like digital colorist for comics, that's what I started doing. So if anyone has questions about that, I used to take photos of screen caps of DVDs all the time, you know. So I was just viewing them as that. But you said I should watch it, and I was like, yes, of course I should watch it. And I was like, this is Jaws. But it was so well done. It goes to show that like you could take a story like I was talking about this Demeter and Dracula and stuff, and you could have your own, you know, there's only so many original stories. Sorry to break it to everybody, but it's true. And how you interpret it is what's important. How you interpret themes that are universal to people. That's what's important as a storyteller. That's your biggest tool.
What is your favorite spin-off of
Dracula?
Either.
God, I mean, Frankenstein's so perfect that I don't want to even acknowledge any other media that contains anything but the original. But Dracula, just the idea of vampires is amazing. I love the idea of vampires. We were looking through Hulu and we saw The Strain, which Mark probably watched some of. The Strain is a Del Toro television.
Yeah, I watched the first few episodes of that.
It's so good. It's so good, and it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, unlike many TV shows in America. And it's a complete thought, going in one direction. The kid is annoying. One of the actors, not the kid, the character he plays, the son, because you know it's one of those characters where you're like, why are they doing that? That doesn't make sense. They're just doing it. They're just doing it so that something happens in the story. There's like a little bit of that in one of the seasons, but other than that, it's great. And so what I'm saying about interpreting stories. So Del Toro interpreted Dracula and the vampire myth of Eastern Europe into this whole thing about like fallen angels and vampires are actually a worm. It's a disease that you get. It's like a hive mind parasite that you can get, and you know you become part of a greater thing, and like that's the pitch to become a vampire is you become part of a kind of an omni-intelligence. Yeah, so they have this with zombies. They use this kind of idea too. But it was really interesting to see a concept explored through a different lens and a different aesthetic, and it still explored the same themes, you know, with different characters, some more themes.
You're more eloquent. I was like, oh man, have you seen Vampire in Brooklyn?
Vampire in Brooklyn, yeah. Well,
that's good.
Well, look, we all love comedy too. Like it's fine, you know. It's fine to have all these different things. So let's look at this campaign because we've been rattling on about vampires, which is fine. You know, our project ended. We're fully funded. I can't thank everybody enough. It's really cool that everybody did that. 11,465, 226 backers. Now all these people, Mark, are going to go into the pledge manager, which I have all set up. Don't worry, I put us at the top. And it is
where we should be.
Where we should be, and it's shopping time. So they're going to go in and they're going to pick their bundles. So I don't know this year if you saw all the bundles that Mike and I did.
I did. Great.
So I mean, we went for surreal comics because we have Little Nemo, which is a gorgeous edition of this book.
Yeah,
Frank Pay's version of Little Nemo. It's amazing. It's super trippy. So if you like that, if you like super trippy large format art books, that's for sure. Then I'm gonna laugh because the next one was My Friend Toby, which I'm just gonna share some little stories of designing and making these with Mike. My Friend Toby is included in every joke we make about everything because it was like this little book that we just had to put out, and we really believed in it, and we were like, little Toby's gonna make it, this little dog's gonna make it, Toby's gonna make it, you know. And Toby didn't do that great on Kickstarter, but Toby is a great book, you know. It's also really affordable, and it's I believe it's digital watercolor, that book with the dog. Do you
I don't really remember too much of that one.
Yeah.
Like I have to look at it.
It's right here. Like that's digital watercolor. Yeah. But it is. I'm asking Chris Kimpo works in watercolor all the time. But My Friend Toby is a really cool book. And then Cats is, you know, we have a cat here running around causing trouble while we're trying to do this. If you have a cat, you will. That's another affordable book that's just really, oh my God, if you have a cat, it's perfect. I laughed so hard putting it together. And there was no lettering in it. It's just like silent panels. So I really got to digest it visually, because sometimes when I'm lettering these books, I get lost and I am not reading them anymore, and I'm just viewing it as text.
Is that the book is just like, it has little moments?
It's little moments. It's like what you want to do with zines and stuff. Yeah, what you're doing with zines and stuff. And then I have this one on here. And this one is, I feel like I'm on QVC, but I love sharing this with people. Dreams Factory and Daryl World. And these, I feel like, really went under the radar when we put them out. And I don't know the numbers for them. But I feel like they really went under the radar, and they're awesome. They're like these steampunk future past. Like, it's not even clear when it's taking place. Daryl Open World is fantastic. It's about this guy is a writer, which is highly relatable for Mark and I. You know, he's a reporter and he's like seeking truth, and it's like in a fantasy world. So like, that's really hard to do. And there's magic and stuff. And it's like, how do you report? How do you, it's really good. And Dreams Factory is just this great industrial steampunk thing. And the artwork is fantastic. So I'm serious. These are really great books. Like, it's just, these things slide across my desk to build, and I have fun building them, but I'm like, I usually read them a month after finishing them, like actually sit and digest it and read it. And
Chris gets a little obsessive about his fonts.
Oh my God, they're like perfectly centered. Everything is like
everything, and you know, it speaks to the production value. And I think people might not know exactly why they look so good, but like,
well, the Eisners do.
The Eisners do. Those 6 judges, like Ryan,
those 6 or 7 people, right?
But I think that subconsciously everybody gets it. But when we were working on Black Box, like, it would look gorgeous, and I'd be like, lettering looks perfect, and then like 2 days later, Chris would be like, I changed the font from 6.4 to 6.6. So much better. And I'm like, dude, like it's already
really good.
It's already good. He's like, I changed the kerning by 0.1. Everything is just a little.
This is how you get Eisner Awards, kids. I mean, if you care, I mean, I care about everything that we do. And if I make a mistake at work, I message my boss, Mike, and I go, look, I handed in something that wasn't done correctly, and I apologize, and there's no reason for that. And like, you know, maybe I'm too obsessive, like I'm apologizing for like, but I really care about if I did it correct or not. You know, I have.
It shows, you know, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to work with Magnetic for Black Box. The quality is there.
And now we're going to be doing. We just had our meeting today with Eric. Drew has. I hope he doesn't have COVID. So say a prayer. But he was very sick from Gen Con. So that call was just basically Eric and I. And Eric and I are now done with. You know, we're done with the Black Box module, the first one. We're done with it. So the next thing is you and I and Eric are going to go through it. And Eric today even said on the call, he said, you know, I could do this project, just me and Chris, right? He said that a few times. And, you know, I really think that Eric has a very high skill set to go run off and do smaller projects with different people on the team. And I'm really excited for that because we've actually talked to Eric quite a bit. This is Eric Thomas, who, you know, he also writes and works on everything Drew works on, Planet of the Apes, and you know, Drew actually just. Well, how can I answer this? He won a Heine Award,
right?
Yep. Which he's writing our RPG, which is great for Alien, you know, and that's fantastic. So, yeah, lots of interesting stuff. It's really unbelievable, you know. I mean, things take a long time, but it's really satisfying seeing.
I think it's important to say, like, this is your first Eisner win, but over the last 10 years, how many nominations? It's
Magnetic's been nominated. I believe it says on our homepage.
I don't have it memorized, but
someone can go look. I believe it's 22.
Yeah, like dozens.
It's like dozens.
like at least 20 times. So
that's what Mike always says, and if he was here, he would say it. It's always the bridesmaid, and never the bride.
Who was it? Like Susan Lucci, right? For the Emmys?
Yeah, he made a Susan Lucci reference.
Right. That's kind of dated, but.
And I said, I laughed because my mother watched All My Children. Now I'm really dating.
Yeah, I mean, like, but yeah.
But my mother watched that constantly. And he was like, I'm surprised you knew that. You're a millennial. And I'm like, well, I'm like an older millennial, so I know.
Well, you're hanging out with.
My mom was watching it.
Your mom.
You know?
Yeah.
Susan Lucci is.
That's good stuff.
It's an actress who never won.
She's just like nominated every year, but never won.
Every year.
So and very comparable here. But now that you're on the radar, now that you've won, I think that
yeah, well, they say once you win, you're in. That's what they say.
That's the Eisner line.
That's the Eisner line. I just made that up. So I mean, it's on the internet. It's publicly available data. You can use it.
Once you win, you're in.
You're in. So we'll see, because it would be really nice for like say Mark and I to win for the Black Box RPG or whatever else thing I do there, you know, or I win for something myself, you know, which is my name on it, or Mike wins again, or we both win, or whatever. It's all for Magnetic Press, and it's really, really exciting. And I really think they should have won so many times before. You know, but hey, say la vie. I'm not on the committee, right? That would be a conflict of interest, but we're honored. So, are you honored for us?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So honored.
So honored. I wish you were there. You would have probably come up with us if you were there. I mean, Liz wasn't there. Mike's wife wasn't there.
Was it just Mike?
It was just Mike and his scotch or whatever.
So, did anyone give him a recording? Have you seen it?
Tori Ann recorded it. The panel.
So
I don't know if she recorded the Eisner stuff, but she recorded.
I'm curious if like his speech is anywhere.
He said he's probably embarrassed because he didn't expect to win at all, because we never win, right?
I wonder if he thanked you.
No, he thanked everybody. Yes, but it's on Tori Ann's. You know, she had a little phone thing recording everything, so I have to go through it. Like, it's like long. Like, she recorded the whole thing.
So like behind the scenes now, let's give the, I don't know how many people are watching, like the dozen people who are watching.
7 people.
Right. So the 7 people and the people who watch it later.
Mm.
When Mike left, what do you think he thought the odds were? Like, do you think he thought he was going to win, or do you think it was going to be like, I'm nominated every year? Like, what was the vibe?
I don't think he thought he was going to win. No. And I would think that, and I talked to him like almost immediately after, because watching on the dumpster fire of Twitter what was going on. And I said, you know, it's really crazy that you won for that Magnetic won for design, because that's what we should win that, you know. But also it's really crazy that we haven't won best adaptation. I mean, that's an adaptation, the Dracula and Frankenstein books, and that was a very large part of the work. And like, I'm not saying design that he did or design that I did is not like a lot of work, and we love the award and we work very hard, but that book specifically was an adaptation, international material. There's all these other awards. Like, we do so many international material books from overseas that you figure that we would have won for.
That would have been the first win.
Right. That's what we,
adaptation.
Yeah, that's what,
that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, I mean, look at the books we have here. Only like maybe 4 of them are by Americans, and that's including us, right? Like, best international material or whatever. That should have been the first one a while ago. But, you know, first book he ever did was Internet. It was Super Ego by Kaio, who we dealt with and worked with in Horrible Future. You know, and he's in South America. He's not here. So it's been from the beginning, you know. But yeah,
that's actually what's so cool about Magnetic Press, though. They're taking these great works of art that the American audience doesn't really know about as much, and translating them and making them look gorgeous and giving them to a new audience. And I think that's really cool.
So I'm throwing out any questions to the 8 people watching. Please ask me. I'm here. I'm all ears. I love to talk. Clearly,
we're dying here.
I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from New York. She's from New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey. We just love to talk. We love to talk. My girlfriend can tell you I will talk for hours and hours and hours. Okay. Most of it is meaningful, but it's endless. So if you ask a question, I will answer it. About any of these books.
Even here.
Books, you know, anything, you know, absolutely. But yeah, so I think
since the Eisner win, has it been difficult at home? Has he been a little here?
To sleep, yes. I remember being sick in bed, and all of a sudden he burst in like the Kool-Aid man.
Like, we won the Eisner.
He's like, we won it.
Yeah.
I was like,
it was at night. It was at night.
Right. And you're just like, go to sleep. Stop.
No, it wasn't like, it was more like I jumped and then Boo jumped and everyone was in the air.
Right.
He was,
because it was like I was sitting and I was working on the magazine for this COMICTOPIA thing, which is, you know, it will have a black box thing in it. The first module, there'll be a sample of it and everything. And I was working on resizing that and making it fit in this different layout in this magazine. And I just, you know, when Mike and I are talking about that, and then Mitch jumped on, and Mitch is like hype as all heck, right? And I just was, I thought, oh, how does this change the company? How does this change the pull we have? You know, how does this change our relationship with Oni? Like, we're Oni Press and us are both, we're sister companies, so we're working on integration with these companies and stuff, and they're awesome. And how does this change everything? How does this change how I am perceived by everybody, right? And the answer is extremely positive. You know, it's been an amazing. Thank you, Sean, for the congratulations on the Eisner. Everyone at Magnetic thanks you for reading our books. Yeah, absolutely. But my mind was racing at how it alters the fabric of what we're doing. It alters like how we are approaching. I mean, you and I know firsthand, because we did this, and then Magnetic is following suit with this. Is that you know, you ran an ad about how Magnetic won an Eisner, and they also published our book Black Box Chronicles, and the response was huge. You saw it on Amazon, it like skyrocketed.
And we broke into the top 100 sci-fi graphic novels. Like of all sci-fi graphic novels, we were in the top 100.
Right.
And of anthologies, we were in the top 25. And if you get rid of Calvin and Hobbes and Garfield, we'd be like top 5.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
it was crazy. It was crazy to see Black Box next to The Far Side and Garfield in the anthology category. And then it was crazier.
And then sci-fi, it was like Darth Vader.
Right.
Black Box, and then like another Darth Vader or something.
Well, it was right after that happened, right after Comic-Con, right after the Eisner announced. Mark was like on it with the ad, and Robert Downey Jr. comes out and says, "I'm Doctor Doom now, right? I'm gonna play Doctor Doom." So all the Secret War books by Bendis or by Brian and Hickman and everybody,
those went straight.
They flooded the top of the rankings, right? Yeah.
And we still
we were right next to all those books. We were like right next to Secret Wars. I was like, holy cow, like this is, if this lasts for a week, this is like amazing to see. And it just proves like the proof is in the pudding, right? Like it proves that like an Eisner win like that for communicating your prestige and your, I know we make great books and everything, but like the people who don't know, that's just such a clear signal. So how will that change things? I don't know. Only for the better. It's great. And I hope it happens again, because then we can stack it.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row. Let's change that streak of getting nominated to winning 13 times in a row. Right. That's what we want to do. So
it's possible.
So, sorry, I'm like hyping myself.
That's what you're here for, though, right?
No, this is the year for it. We had Black Box Chronicles come out. We're working on new stuff. I'm very excited. Mark has moved just from Horrible Future since we're both here. He's moved to working with Mike and Taki on a bunch of stuff. I won't say anything because it's in-house over here with us, but it's very exciting, and it's really one of the best parts about working at Magnetic Press is learning, meeting all these artists and connecting all these creative minds and individuals, and then afterwards maintaining those relationships, right? So, I do this with companies. I do this with Adobe. I do this with Wacom. I do this with Rose City Games and all these different companies that I run around with out here. And the maintaining of the relationships and seeing where you can go as a group of creative people and how you can navigate the reality we find ourselves in is fascinating, and I love it. And I love having these types of people around me, creative types, on a team. Like feeling that team feeling is so important. Like people want to connect. That's why they read the books. Cool, that's why we make them, right?
But it's also like you get friends out of it, genuine friends. Like whether it's Mike and Taki or
we just went for a sushi and we killed it. We got so much sushi.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And I think that shows in the work, though, and I think that's what will keep compounding. I think that's why I just am so excited about the future, because we kind of went into this, you and I, a lot of these people we were working with for the first time, and then we started certain ones. We started hey, they're cool. Let's work with them again. And I feel like that's going to just show in the work, and the work is going to continue to get better.
Yeah, we have Rose City Comic-Con coming up in September, I believe. If anyone's going there, let me know. I'll be there, and Mike and Taki will be there, and you'll be there, and I believe Mitch will be there, and Melissa will be there, our PR person for Horrible Future and Magnetic. So I'll grab a coffee with her or something. And just this Comictopia thing was supposed to be a celebration, and I know a lot of people on this Comictopia thing that live here in Portland, because there's a lot of comic creators here.
Yes.
So I saw a lot of names of people.
More than people would think.
Yeah, it's just
comic book people here.
Because Image, Dark Horse, and Oni are here, and I technically Magnetic is here because I'm here, and we're a small outfit, and it's been great seeing them on Comictopia. And thank you to BackerKit for running this, because this is we did it last year when it was an experiment, and now we were in the second year of doing it, where it was not a well-oiled machine, but it had been on the road before, and everyone is kind of giving input on how this thing works. And the idea is to get all of the campaigns funded that they've hand selected, right? So we worked with anyone who backed us in the other campaign that we're partnered with, which Mark and I should talk to these guys anyway. RaidCon, Raid. So this is like top tier. So this is like, I would say Raid is what Magnetic is kind of wishes it had. It's this American creator group, right? And they're putting it into this magazine and show, like, we're putting all these Europeans in a magazine. They're putting all these Americans into a magazine, right? It's like a co-op of creators from America, like just the top people. And it's really cool to see a parallel to us. That's the American version of this magazine. So it made sense to pair with them. So I hope everyone who backed us back then, because then you get the shared campaign stuff. So the reward that's shared. So that's cool.
What is that? I
for us it was a keychain. Okay. From Frontier, which is one of my favorite sci-fi books, and it should be one of our RPGs that we do. Absolutely. Chibi space pirates. Very, I believe that'll be available in BackerKit, and that's a very alien type world where it's like everyone's like a trucker, or they're a delivery person, or they're a miner, and it's everyone's just very industrial jobs, and they're drawn in a very chibi, small, like I'm looking at it right now, like they almost look like pixel art. Their faces are so simple, like it's just really. And then you look at the backgrounds, and the backgrounds are these amazing, detailed, as simple as the characters are. The backgrounds, when they pull out, and the characters like that big, and it's oh god, here we go. Sean, so many of your books I've enjoyed, but the works of Cassegrain and Merwin are my highlights. So we have an Astro Pan fan here. So I hope you got Astro Pan too. That's pretty cool. The source, I really like that one. That one's featured in this magazine with a Merwin interview. Fantastic artist. That guy works traditionally. That's not digital watercolor. Fantastic. So Mark, Pan, if you don't know, is amazing. Because it's I told you about it the other day because I thought you were unfamiliar with it, and it's it's post-apocalyptic, and they settle stuff with dodgeball.
Brilliant.
So
enough said. Right. That's
right.
Cool.
And then the second one is, it opens with like a floppy disk that's like it just cold opens with it has the coolest cold opening. So it's like showing how this world came to be, and it's puts a floppy disk in the computer, and it basically is like run program to end world, yes or no, and the person like that's how it opens, and it's like, well, that's how it happened. So that one's called The Source, and it's about them reclaiming or rediscovering technology in this world that they're in because they don't have any. Yeah, go ahead. No, don't worry. But yeah, it's really good. Exit left.
Yeah, we didn't see anything. She just disappeared.
Yeah, we didn't see her leave. So it's been a wild year, and yeah, dude, I'm glad you like Cassegrain too, because we just published Cow Bang, which is another. It's like high fantasy pirates, flying dragons. Like if you like Zelda Skyward Sword, or like the Neverending Story or something, where there's flying dragons and flying and just in the air, and sky islands. I mean, the new Zelda has sky islands too, but it's just, if you like the idea of sky islands and sky pirates, that is your book. And it is a fun time. And after Black Water Lilies, which is such a slow burn, death, murder book, it's nice to see a book from that guy that's just high fantasy. It almost reminds me of like Conan type rendering, like the coloring, the bronze muscles on the pirates. It reminds me of Conan, like those Conan covers. So very cool. I hope you got that one. If you didn't, it'll be in the thing. I hope you got the Casagrande collection, which was all 3 of his books that we've done, and it included Tao Bang in it, because Tao Bang didn't have its own campaign. But yeah, that book's the shizzy, as they say. I turned off the kids thing, so it's.
So you can say that now.
I could say shizzy, I believe. Okay. But yeah. Sean, any feedback? Ryan, any feedback? Anyone, any feedback on this campaign? Did you like it? Do you like Comictopia? How does everyone feel about Comictopia? Should we do it again? Was it worth the time? You're back in.
Yeah.
Hi. No,
Hi.
you can just come sit up here.
I'm not sneaky, I guess.
I know. You're not sneaky. Well, B said, our friend Brian said yesterday that you should have a shirt that says sneaky on it. I don't know why that is, but is that some kind of inside joke or something?
Yeah, with you.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not getting into. I don't know. I don't know what it means.
I think we should get into it.
No, I don't know. Apparently, it means something I don't know. But yeah. Is anyone? I mean, I think we should just keep doing comic. You know what? Honestly, let me just say right now, Backer Kit as a platform is really cool because it's not flooded like Kickstarter. Not to knock Kickstarter because it's our bread and butter, but you can really stand out. I mean, Dracula and Frankenstein won this Eisner. It ran twice. It ran on Kickstarter, and then it ran on Backer Kit. And it really shows that it's a different audience. It's not the same audience because it's still made. Like, we almost were not paying attention to it because we were running Planet of the Apes and all these other things at the same time. And it was almost like Toby, like that little dog book where it's like, oh, Toby's doing it. Yeah, over there. But it's Dracula and Frankenstein. So it's doing like phenomenal on the side. And maybe we'll do more things where we run. And these Casagrande books, like you said, Sean, they did great the second time also on Backer Kit. You know, these books were offered already, and you know, they were offered with like something extra with another book with them again. So a lot of people had them, and they still bought it, and it's really cool. It's nice to have another channel because you shouldn't have one race going. You should have a couple. You need different outlets. So that brings me to my next thing. Ask your bookstores to carry magnetic press books. For sure. If you ask it, we'll be there. Now, please. Dracula Frankenstein is going to flood the stores now because it's going to have the sticker on it that's going to raise our profile in the stores. And that's going to affect other books. And that's really good. So our audience, magnetic press, like, we all love it, right? We love magnetic press. So if we love magnetic press and you love Horrible Future and you love these companies that make these books and stuff, definitely tell people about them. Definitely tell your bookstores about them.
Like,
yeah.
The thing I loved about, if you don't mind me.
Yeah, what's up?
Explaining when I first saw these, I'm like, oh, my goth heart. My goth heart, look at it. Red. And it's just so textured.
It's red as hell.
It's just like gorgeous.
Yeah.
And red.
I almost gave these to Megan at WACON, and I'm glad I didn't because they're sold out at certain places.
Yeah, they're worth way too much now.
They're worth way too much.
Sorry, Megan.
Old.
Yeah.
Like, they're just gorgeous.
Yeah, here, I'll hold it up for people to show. Yeah. I mean, it's in black and white fittingly, but the illustrations are just...
They're so vivid.
Can I just say, it's so weird to see an analog version of this page on my screen where I created it. It's almost like a surreal experience. It's bizarre. Like, I laid this whole thing out and lettered it on the screen, and now I'm seeing it on the screen. It's weird.
Here's the thing, like
Inception.
In ink,
it's weird.
And I've worked in black and white. I mostly work in black and gray, but for me, it's just, I could just see how the ink is just, the paper drinked it in, so it's bold.
That's why we did this type of paper.
Yeah, it's just very bold. there's so much detail in it. You could see every little stroke from the brush or quill, whatever.
Yeah, it feels like the actual. You know what? It looks like an artist edition. Like, you ever see those artist editions?
It's just.
It looks like that.
It's just so much.
Yeah.
Just sucked into that paper. So much packed into it, and.
Yeah. Not that page. That's not safe for work. There's some Dracula's a little risque sometimes. So.
A little bit.
A little bit. I don't know. It's Gary Oldman, right?
But yeah, I was really excited about this one.
All right, so let's do some. We're gonna close this down because we all have things to do. And one of the things I have to do is set up with Mike, the pledge manager, so you can all buy these wonderful books now that you're in. All you backers. So I'm gonna have our little shout out session. Wait.
Sean had a.
I was only able to participate in 2 projects, but I'm excited to see such varied talents. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was actually a couple of guys from Oni who did a project that was outside of Oni that was small. A couple of people worked there, so local guys. They were successful. So yeah, it was great. So I'm gonna do shout outs for people, right? So let's do our shout outs. This will be archived on this campaign page, so all these people will see it. We have a very large network, and on BackerKit alone, we have I sent Mark a screenshot. It's a very large network. So people are going to come across this video and all this content. So Mark, do you want to plug Horrible Future and talk about us for a hot second?
Yeah, I mean, we have some really great things coming up. As you know, I can't really talk about much right now, but we do have Black Box Chronicles at Magnetic Press. We also have Design Space, which is a companion book that came with this another cool slip case, which I believe has very few left, but is available at the Magnetic.
People are reordering this book because Mark has been hitting the gas, and Magnetic followed suit on hitting the gas. So if you want this,
just
book,
another I mean, I believe this was designed right around the time of Dracula as well, like the one before or after.
They were almost at the same time. Yeah.
So like Mike Kennedy, the designer, had this idea, and it has a magnet in this, and it clicks, and it's just a gorgeous.
We've never done that before. So
yeah. So like this was just, in a way, I am saying it's like almost like a precursor to the Dracula and Frankenstein, in that like this year I think Magnetic just went like full throttle in terms of production value. And like really just didn't. It was like, we want to give the best experience to these collectors, and I think that's an important thing to say. I'm going back to Magnetic Press and less on Horrible Future, but there's 226 people here. You just won an Eisner. Like, these are like the people who are at the beginning of it's like, when you find a new band. I know you've been around for 10 years, but like this could be a big trajectory up, and these are all the people who really get it. So I think it's really every one of the people who are here listening, everyone who backed this campaign, or has backed any of the Magnetic campaigns for that. I mean, like, you're talking about, you're in the first 1%.
We're back to our campaigns, our first campaign.
Or even
of all the boxes in my kitchen. Kempo's tired of spaceships everywhere.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
A lot of spaceships.
Kaiju around all these.
Yeah, you feel like a giant Godzilla around all these.
Oh, Marco's here.
Marco is here.
How are you, Marco? Marco's one of the artists on Black Box.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Did you mention the beautiful buttery coloring?
Oh, Flavio's coloring, the buttery.
I saw that and I melted. I was like, what is beautiful.
Big fan of that guy.
Yes, I like that.
That guy saved
our. He's also just such a great collaborator, and I believe he helped us get some of the other.
That guy saved our butt.
Flavio is like the unsung hero there. He's just an awesome guy and really talented.
Yeah,
really talented. And to say colorist, you were a colorist. You started as, and when we met, you were a colorist. you had written an award-winning, book, Reason for Dragons, but you were a colorist at the time, and I knew from the beginning it was like you're more than that, and that's not to say that being a colorist is not, but like even Flavio is showing that like everybody involved in this process.
He connected so many people. Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like like every position. You could be a letterer, you could be a flatter, you could be a colorist, you could be a writer. It's all about the network and knowing how to connect the right people, and that's one of your gifts, Chris, and Flavio is one of those people. Marco is fantastic, and he's always been one of our best supporters on social media. There's just some really great people that we've got to work with.
Yeah,
so
really good.
Yeah.
So so that's our horrible future talk right there. Kempo, you've helped me out here.
Yes.
If Mark didn't show up, you were going to be the can't wait to read Frontier. Love all that you do. Thank you very much, Chris. We love Frontier. Another really well designed book with a nice yellow cover. It's excellent looking. I love that. I love the way that book looks. That should be shipping actually. That has minis as well. It's minis take a long time. They do. And Frontier is, it's not exactly on schedule, but it's the minis are absolutely fantastic. Yeah, our minis are great. Like
one of the minis from Black Box.
When people get Planet of the Apes now that we finished out, which was a huge project for us that we finished recently, they will see the minis for that of the Forbidden Zone and all the gorillas and the astronauts and the spaceships that Shane drew, and the minis are fantastic. They just take a while, so we thank you for your patience on all things minis. Sorry, I'm pointing. We don't point, Mark. That's rude. He's on the screen. He can't even build a.
I didn't see the point.
That's not nice.
But you want to tell them about your YouTube channel and stuff?
Oh well.
And I'll drop it in the comments.
I'm in the very beginning stage of making a YouTube channel called Dark Canvas, and it's just going to be my art process and videos on how to do things. I think I'm toying around the idea of showing how to make a zine.
Yeah.
And I work in watercolor and gouache and acrylic, among other things.
And what's the main thing you illustrate that you draw? Horror. So
cats.
And cats. So if you liked
horror cats.
Horror cats.
Yeah.
So if you liked Dracula and Frankenstein, this Eisner-winning book, you probably like horror, and you should follow Kempo at your Instagram account.
Everything is actually, I don't think you introduced. I'm Kempo Cornelius. Everything is under Kempo Cornelius. Instagram, Kempo Cornelius. Facebook, Kempo Cornelius.
Kempo Cornelius. It's spelled exactly as it sounds. So it starts with a K. I will put that in the description, and I will put it in the comments for people. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's fantastic work you're doing. And Mark, Kempo is playing with those paints that you sent. I'll be sending you some photos.
Brushes. So I don't know if it's too soon to talk about the project I'm working on. Maybe
too soon. Yeah.
Okay, but
the
brushes that you get, they definitely
they're going
got the project going.
They're going to work on a project that's like pretty much done and going to go out. So those brushes really work.
Happy to hear that.
Yeah,
of course. Well, I feel guilty because like so often Chris and I are talking, till like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
and I think I like have stolen a lot of time.
You have creative guilt.
I have guilt that I have taken your time away because you already have Magnetic that you work with, and then it's like you're done with that, and then you're on the phone with me, and poor Kempo is trying to sneak around, and you're never bothering us, but like you're always trying to be quiet and stuff, and I'm like,
I'm trying.
So every once in a while I'll like send her like paintbrushes or something and just
Thank you so much.
like sorry for like taking Chris.
I like how you think like, oh, I'm like, but honestly, when you guys are doing that, I'm like throwing paint on things and like creating stuff.
Kempo's pretty busy. I am Chris Northrup. I I don't think I introduced anyone at the start of this. I'm sorry. But then again, everyone came in 5 minutes late. So it's like, what, if they missed it, they missed it. I'm Chris Northrup. I am a designer at Magnetic Press and so much more. I build projects with Mike all day and all night. And I am also the co-owner of Horrible Future, this company I have with Mark. And we're making a lot of cool stuff. So we appreciate everyone following us also. So you can follow us. We're a Horrible Future on Facebook. I'm Chris Northrup on Facebook. You'll see me. It's an OP, not a UP. And I believe let's say, we got people talking to us. See,
yeah, we're on Instagram. We're horrible.future, like horrible period
future. And the reason it's that is probably because I am C.Northrup on.
I actually got Horrible Future, and it just like they shut the account, and I can't get back in, and had to create a new one.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, I mean we had both, so that was our backup.
I'm gonna type this here. If you want, can you type on this, Mark?
I can join.
Yeah.
I guess I should.
Yeah, we could just type it right here for people. Look, there's more people here now than there were before.
Because I have a Monster account.
So that's me. I'm going to drop that right there. That's it. And then let's put yours, and we'll put not a problem.
What are you putting?
I'm going to put your
it's I'm working on, I guess, many projects. One that's okay to talk about is one called United States of Monsters. So what I've been doing is doing research about folklore that originate in the U.S. and monsters and cryptids throughout. And I pick the best from each state. And I write the lore and a rundown of where originated, the location, sometimes where the Native American, I guess you would call them clans.
Sorry. Thank you, Kahuni. Am I saying that right? We are all fans of the rounded corners and foil, and we have it on Black Box all over it. And everyone, so Black Box was Magnetic Press's first trade paperback. And it even has the, I believe it's our first trade paper. We did one before, but we did not do them for years and years and years. But we definitely wanted to. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for following Horrible Future. Yep, there it is. Round corners.
Okay, so you have to have the round corners.
Every book you order, I will be very surprised, guys. If
you get a round corner and you get a round corner.
I would be very surprised if anything happens to the edges of these books, because that's excellent for shipping. It's genius. I don't know if that's why Mike did it initially.
It's also you can hit it and you don't get hurt.
The thing I found that I liked about it is I crochet a lot and I wear crochet items.
Thank you, Sean.
Worry about it getting snagged. So it's a nice read.
And everyone also
luxury. Yeah.
So you should also, I'm going to add this because we have not been too active on it because we just finished Planet of the Apes and it has not really been being used since Planet of the Apes, which we will be better at because now we're going to be doing all the updates with Disney and stuff about the campaign. We're just collecting ourselves, but you should probably follow Magnetic Press Play, Mark and I's Black Box RPG stuff, our first module. Anything else we elect to do in this RPG space with Magnetic Press will be on there if we choose to do it. And that is Magnetic Press Play. That is our other, it's Magnetic Press, but it's a whole nother venture that we're undertaking. And Planet of the Apes was a big thing to do and trial by fire. And we're thrilled whoever backed it. There were many, many, many of you who backed it, and we are thrilled and we are happy. And we are happy to also have used a lot of the artists that we build these relationships on something like Planet of the Apes and invite them in to work on it. And we'll continue to do that in the future. And that includes extending writing stuff to Mark and everything because he's an excellent technical writer, and that is not forgotten on us. with one of our next projects. So yeah, you should follow that as well.
And thank you, Chris. Chris Game over there said Black Box was their first Kickstarter. But thank you for backing that. And
thank you so much.
And we have a lot more in store. Like we're excited because Chris and I we spent what, like 18 months on it. And
oh my God, I feel like you're my family, like, because I work with you so much. Like
but we really spent a lot of time.
You still feel like we're making Black Box?
Yeah, we kind of are. Like it's what you saw is almost like a prequel, and we have
so much more to do with
coming, and it's kind of frustrating that it takes so long to make these things. But yeah,
well, we're getting to it. You know, the Eisner thing means, actually, you know what, we're deciding a lot of our slate right now, so there is a lot of runway for a lot of projects. We have to, you know, decide what we're doing. Not talking anything inside that I'm not supposed to be saying, but you know, every year companies have to decide what they're going to do the next year, and we're in the middle of deciding a bunch of stuff for gaming and moving some things around on the schedule because that affects publishing. So yeah, should be a really interesting year. A lot of the stuff on those lists includes some of our stuff, and some of that stuff is actually like halfway done. I have to go over with Mark and our game guys. Like, that has to happen soon. But yeah, if you like Black Box, there's the reward of the module for Black Box Chronicles coming very, very soon. And then, you know, whatever else we elect to do with the gaming on that. So, yeah, very exciting times. You know, we got, Drew's got that gold EINE award, and we got this Eisner award, and I'm going to slap that all over this Black Box RPG. Always got to put it.
We just got to figure out, how do we get rounded corners on the RPG?
Yeah, I mean, Carbon Gray has rounded corners, so but yeah, everything should have rounded corners. Everything. My life has rounded corners. It should. No sharp edges.
You should, in the back of your room, make sure
every corner should be rounded. Like,
right.
It should look like Tatooine, like just everything's round.
Right, a little more like the Star Wars houses.
Oh, that mid-century.
Yeah, that mid-century space look. Very cool. All right, everybody. We're gonna bounce. I know Mark has other companies he runs, and he has other things to do, and he has kids, and we have chores to do here, and a cat that is chilling, but not for long. So we're gonna bounce. So thank you very much for hanging out. If you have any questions about this campaign or any of these books, including Black Box or anything that I worked on creatively, you can ask us right in the comments, and we'll, yeah, thank you very much for watching. I enjoy doing this. You know, everyone else said they couldn't do it, and I said I will, because I think it's really important to talk to you guys, and even if 15 people show up, 200 people will watch this.
And think about how often we talked about, when we write next time, we might
just stream it.
Stream it and be part of the process, because so much of it, I mean, we would just laugh until our stomachs hurt. We'd be crying.
Yeah, I mean, if you would be interested in watching science fiction writers just write and talk about the comic book industry live, we could set up a Twitch for that.
Yeah, that might be different.
Just leave it in the comments if you want that.
Pocket and Chris Game.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll make a drinking game that goes with it or something. I don't know.
What?
Every time Mark says transhumanism.
Did I ever say that?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about maybe words we might say.
It's getting late in the stream, but I'll let you finish. Congratulations to Magnetic Press on the Eisner win. Congratulations on this successful campaign. And just looking forward to seeing what Magnetic Press, even as independent of Horrible Future, congratulations, and like, just always love seeing your work, Mike's work. It's gorgeous. I think everybody here, everybody who watches this, is gonna kind of like just to be agreeing with me.
Everybody here is a niche.
But yeah, in the end of the day, it's a matter of like getting the word out there. Tell your friends, you know, post about it, because like, it helps.
I don't even know. I don't know if Mitch is on. I just mentioned him, but I said everyone here is a Mitch with an M. And Mitch is he works for us doing social community management and stuff. And he's a book collector. and his enthusiasm is infectious. And what Mark is saying is we think a lot of you are like that as well. So it's great. Okay.
And thank you all for listening. Working out, like thank you for listening. You know, like to appreciate you.
We're getting garbled. So I'm gonna. I don't know if that's on Mark's end or if it's on my end, but we're gonna sign out now. And yeah, anything in the comments? Kat says hello. Thank you very much.